Hello, welcome back to another exciting episode of Hey, today's not Sunday. What do they think they're trying to do doing this 2 days early? Now my schedule's all messed up. Here with Robert's recap is Bradley.
So, last time we all decided to change names except Corvin because Corvin was like, "No, I'm just not going to do this." And in we're going to go try to make our way into the vampire army, and surely this is going to work out fine. We have Baron Mitos, which we are all working under. Then we have Mor is Lonnie, Lonnie is Morgan, and Morgan is Alcio, which Alcio is the name of Baron Mitos. And that's the recap.
Join us next week for another exciting recap of Robert's recap. Yep, so you're right. Names be changing left and right. And you guys are now walking down to the army encampment where supposedly Strahd is.
And just to recap, we want the vampires to win.
Just to recap, you want the vampires to prevail over Azalin, so that he does not change past history events, and he is stuck being the Dark Lord of the domain Darkon.
All right.
There you go. As you approach the army encampment, Alcio turns around. He speaks to all of you. He says, I've forgotten how to do his voice. Hold on. Nope. Hold on. I'm panicking. How did I do his voice? It is very important. None of you speak unless you are spoken to. Now, what is your name? I'm looking at you, Mora. What is your name?
Well, you just said it.
This is good. We are all going to die.
No, my name is Lonnie. Duh.
Good. Launi, what is your name?
Morgan.
Morgan, what is your name?
I don't know, Morgan. I know I am Alcio.
Keep practicing. Corvin.
Yes?
Keep doing what you do. You do so.
I will. Thank you.
Can I just say I'm so happy you guys went along with this hijinks. All right, sorry. And we're back.
He turns back around. He keeps walking toward the encampment. He straightens up his back. He kind of throws his shoulders up a little. He kind of loosens up. And then he puts his arms kind of behind his back in like a very disarmed manner, like where he's just kind of holding his hands behind his back very very regally, if you will. And as you all approach the encampment, some guards stop you all, and they demand to know on what business you're trying to enter the camp. Alcio, going by the name Baron Mitos, tells them that you're all there to speak to Strahd von Zarovich to help with the war against Azalin. At which point they send a runner. That runner does exactly that. He runs off, and you're stuck there waiting. The guards kind of step back a ways. They keep their eyes on you, but they are currently out of earshot. Do you guys want to talk about anything while you're waiting for the runner to return?
So are we all vampires? How are we playing this out? I mean,
I'm a vampire.
No, Laoni, you are not a vampire.
I'm a vampire. Remember I turned into a vampire-looking person that I saw before? Changeling style?
Yeah, the sunken cheeks and everything.
Yeah. Because tonight will be the night, remember?
Okay, you can keep that lie up.
I like a blood.
Laoni, I will trust you on this, but you better sell it.
You're lonely.
Alessio, I would not say that you are a vampire. You are too goofy. They will see right through you. You are like a dog, like very playful puppy.
Are you talking to Lonnie?
Alessio,
Sorry.
Love the background.
You guys ready for some vampire wars?
really kind of takes away the weight of what situation is happening around you.
I don't know. All right, I'm sorry. I'll be good.
All right. I'm not a vampire. I'll remember that. Cool.
Corvin is vampire.
I don't
But
know.
I would
Corbin's
not-
pretty silly.
What?
I also wouldn't sell myself as one because apparently Dampiers are below vampires, correct? I want to not oversell myself.
You can pass for vampire.
Oh, right. I will try then.
Do not
Wait.
say word Dampier, and you should be fine.
I was
Laoni. No, I get confused. Morgan. You do okay? Are you going to play vampire?
No.
Okay. This is good to know who will be vampire and who will not.
I can't add to the load of remembering I'm Morgan.
I just want to double check because I was a little distracted with my background. Were you saying that I could be a vampire or I could not be a vampire? I am a
You-
changeling. I'm a vampire, but you were saying, or I thought you were talking to straight up Morgan /
You-
Lonnie about being a puppy, but I'm
have-
wondering.
You have the look of a vampire,
Yes.
but can you be a vampire?
I think this should.
Can you say
Sorry.
the performance of a vampire?
Corvin, I know that you are considered a class below, which seems a little wrong to me, but like, what is the demeanor of a vampire? I can take it.
Well, you know that thing that you just did with your mouth? Don't laugh.
Impossible.
Sounds good.
Also, if you can smell like a vampire, it would be helpful.
If I could smell?
What does that smell like?
Like a vampire.
Will a damp peer confuse them? Like
Like
if I made
moss
Corvin
balls?
hug me, would I like get that smell?
A light tinge of copper is generally what I would suggest.
Do we have pennies in this round?
This is in fact my first rodeo, and I do not know how you can feel like if smell will rub off.
Is it like blood? And I take like one of my little blades and I like prick my fingers a little bit and I like
Just
that better?
The
smear
perfume.
blood.
underneath my clothes a little bit. Does that make me coppery? Am I prepared? Being in character is very important to me right now.
Authenticity.
My name's Lonnie and sunsets mean nothing to me.
You are going to smell like their next meal.
Laura, are you channeling like my middle school self?
Are vampires allowed to like pink? The singer? Because if so, then yeah, I'll try. No, I'm just kidding. So what? I'm still a rock star.
You what? You
I
like?
don't know.
blondes?
Maybe I shouldn't be a vampire, you guys. No, we're committed.
There's already
Apparently-
blood on you.
Well, I
You
thought
have
that would
not
give me the
stated
coppery smell.
anything to anyone yet. You don't have to be a vampire. We
Yeah.
are already working under the Baron. We could just say we are his servants.
I
You
am.
want to- All right, you are a servant vampire.
Yep.
All
And
right.
boy, does everybody here smell delicious.
Just don't cut yourself. That's a little disturbing, actually.
I didn't like cut myself, just little pinpricks.
We are all
And
going
bricks.
to die.
Speaking of death, do we get our health points back from when we got shot down by those necromantic?
Actually, yeah. As soon as you step through that mirror portal into this this new time, oh man, you guys feel so good. You feel like a breath of fresh air. You feel
Like-
like if your health, if your
This is
vitality could be put into numbers, you have all of them.
Oh, okay.
What?
I
I'll
feel
take
like
it.
Yeah, on like a range of like 1 to I don't know 63 or whatever it is that your top range is. You're at that top of the range and you're feeling great.
3 going on 30.
it's a good one.
The runner returns, and he bids you follow him.
I follow after my Baron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baron Metis immediately begins to follow him, nodding at the 2 guards that halted you all, and you make your way through the camp. You all draw very mean eyes, looks of suspicion as you pass.
I get him back.
Especially Morgan, Lonnie Morgan,
But why?
because you're little.
Because you're intimidating.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Until eventually you come to a very large and ornately trimmed tent. Outside are 2 guards who guard the entrance, and then surrounding the entire tent in a perimeter are even more guards. And the 2 guards beckon for Alcio to enter.
Does it seem that Alcio real?
Mitos.
Alcio fake? Yeah.
Baron Metis, they
Okay.
bid him enter. And he says, "Pray, my servants may join me." To which there's a little bit of reluctance before one of the guards says, "You can bring one of your servants."
Don't choose me. It'd be a bad choice.
I will follow you.
Oh, God. No.
It's what
Or
I do.
Corbin.
Those are your
No,
2 good
if
choices.
you want to go ahead.
Rock, paper, scissors it.
Very good. Join me, Alcio. You 3, stay here. And Alcio and Baron Metis go into the tent. You 3 are left outside. Someone, as Baron Metis and Alcio go into the tent, someone comes out with a plate with 3 mugs of ale on it, as well as a small sampling of meats and cheeses and grapes.
Do we trust that?
Corvin will. Corvin, he believes that we are here to enlist, and so he wants to show that he trusts them. So he will readily eat and drink.
Morgan, Lonnie,
Sure.
I'm gonna drink it and eat it.
No.
cool.
Maybe vampires can eat this stuff, right? I think back in my head if I've ever seen a vampire eat real food.
Yes.
Yeah, I sure do. I eat it.
Yeah, it's not your main source of nutrition, and you'll get sick if you eat too much of it. But yeah, you can eat it.
But boy, will I not regret it later.
Once you've taken the mugs of ale and you've taken your small samplings of meats, cheeses, and fruits, the server kind of bows his head and he goes back into the tent.
How many guards seem to be like surrounding the area? Does it seem like it more than like other tents? Did we see any movement when we came? Like, basically, I'm asking: does it look like this has been reinforced because of our presence, or just normal kind of amount of guards around?
Looking around, this tent does have a lot more guards surrounding it than other tents that you have passed. This is also the largest tent that you've encountered thus far. So it would take more people to guard. But you're really unable to discern whether or not it would be because of you or just be because this is an important tent.
Yeah, if there's like something to sit down without looking extremely odd, like if there's like a chair or a log nearby, Corin will just sit out and try to nonchalantly listen as hard as he can.
There is nearby fires with other smaller tents surrounding it, and there's a few people kind of crowded around a nearby fire, and they're regarding you as one of them pokes at the fire with a stick, and another one of them drinks from his own mug of ale.
All right. I'm just going to try to ask. Well, no, that makes it sound like we are literally spies. No, I'm just going to say, I hope that we can join amicably, and it's kind of as I continue to sip at my mug.
You say that you are hoping that you can join amicably?
Yeah.
Join what, little man?
It's no
Well,
way to talk to your players, DM. Why would you?
Rude.
well, I mean, I've always wanted to be part of history. This looks like a very important battle, and that's what I'm interested in joining.
Just another fool chasing glory. You'll be dead before the week is out.
Well, I hope that's not comes to pass, but if it is, so be it. And I'll continue to just sip and stay kind of silent as they glare at me at the fire.
Oh yeah, they continue to glare at you, for sure. Morgan and Lonnie, have you guys moved at all, or are you still standing?
I mean, not to sound too much like a follower, but I definitely followed Corvin over.
Just go with the group. Safety in numbers.
As they come up behind you, Corvin, the one poking at the fire, says, "You brought women to protect you, eh? Maybe a week is too generous."
I just kind of nod, like I'm not going to start this fight here, and just let him think what he wants to think.
Cool. Meanwhile, back in the tent, Alcio, you are greeted to a mug of ale of your own, as well as a small plate of meats, cheeses, and grapes. And you are bidden to sit in a small chair in the corner of the tent, while Alcio is invited to the other end of the tent where a large war table.
Mitos.
Thank you. I hate this name thing. Mitos is invited over to
Put a
the
post to that.
to a side of a large war table, which has been set up. A tall, pale, lanky man stands at the other end. He's got very long black hair. He's got very long, pointed nails, and he's dressed oh so richly. And in kind of hushed voices, he and Baron Mitos begin speaking. Alcio, you're having some trouble hearing them, but what you can basically understand with the Baron's deep voice is that you're that he has come to help. He and his 4 servants have come to assist in the war against Azalin. And then you just hear kind of a very subdued uh, response that you can barely make out. This other man is being rather quiet.
All right.
In the tent with everybody else, it does look with the 2 of them and yourself are some servants who stand off to the very sides of the tent waiting to be called upon. And then there are several what look to be generals or lieutenants in very full sets of armor who glare angrily between you and Baron Metis.
I regard them indifferently, and I sit in my chair and I enjoy my ale and little snacks as I try to listen in and be nosy, but with an air of indifference.
All right. You see Baron Metis after a few minutes. He snaps his fingers and he beckons for you to come over.
I stand up, brush myself off, and I go over there.
Who holds the scrolls, Alcio? The bag of scrolls, Alcio.
Oh, that would be Corvin. Corvin has them outside, my lord.
Retrieve them.
Yes, my lord.
I make a bow and I go out there to retrieve them.
Yeah. You are allowed to leave the tent.
Corvin,
you
the
see
master wants
Corvin.
his scrolls.
You see Corvin just kind of silently sitting there, trying to look as small as possible. They called him small, so he's becoming small.
Is Corbin small though? I always thought you were pretty
No,
tall.
he's pretty tall.
Okay.
But
He's
like
not small.
I'm not like tall wise, but physique wise, I could probably be considered small, especially considered like to normal vampires. But I'll just kind of address Alcio as he comes up. Oh, yes, of course. And I just kind of grab the bag and hand it over to you. I hope everything's going well.
The lord wants the scrolls. Don't hunch, it's bad for your back.
Corvin, like kind of, he sits up, but his shoulders like begin to sag. So like, well, he looks like he's maybe getting a bit taller, but he's still not hunched over, but he doesn't make himself any bigger.
Okay. I go and bring the scrolls back to
Baron Mitos.
Yeah, he takes the bag of scrolls from you as you return, and after kind of like fingering through the multiple scrolls in the bag, he grabs one that you all have recently looked at, and you see him spread it out on the table, and he says to the man on the other side, "We come from the land of Darkon, here in this city." And after a look of much incredulity, the man at the other end of the table repeats the name of the city on the map. Ilalik. Not something I have ever heard of before. What is it you think you can help me with? And Baron Midas responds, we can help you win this war against Azalin, and he will fall beneath your sword. The man considers for a moment. We will talk later. Return to your servants. Rejoin me here at my tent in an hour. You'll be taken care of until then. And the man turns around and he goes behind a flap at the very back of the tent into like his own separate rooms. The generals that are sitting down on the other, like on the sides of this long war table, they stand up and they glare at Alcio and Baron Metis. Baron Metis turns to leave. Alcio, you follow?
Absolutely.
Cool. You exit the tent. You see Morgan, Corvin, and Lonnie all sitting around a fire. What do you guys do as you see Alcio and Baron Metis emerge?
Corbin will stand up immediately, trying to get rid of this awkwardness that we're just staring at each other, staring daggers at each other around the fire. Do they return to any conversation while we're sitting there, or do they kind of just stay a bit silent or muffled while we were sitting?
As you stand up, you see one lean in very closely to another, and the second man leans in as well to hear what he's saying. And you know that they're saying something, probably some kind of jibe at you, but you can't hear what's being said.
All right. Yeah. Corbin will just turn around like, well, it seems that you guys came out in one piece. How'd it go?
We are still alive. This in itself is victory.
You have low standards.
The
But
correct
feasible
standards for
ones.
this group.
Yeah.
We have been invited back in 1 hour's time.
Oh, that sounds like a good thing. Was it the scrolls that did it for him?
They did their own form of convincing. And he hands you back the bag of scrolls.
What do the vampiric armies, what are they comprised of? Is it made up of vampires, or is it made up of thralls? What are we looking at?
Roll me an Arcana.
All right.
Or a Nature.
I will go with Arcana.
Or a nurture.
Or a Religion.
I think, yeah, Arcana will work best for me.
Or
Schnozberries.
These new dice are terrible.
Okay.
That with advantage, I have an 8.
yeah, you see bipedal humanoid beings filling the camp. Some of them you can outright tell are pretty vampiric, and others you're just kind of like, I don't know. And then some you're like, I don't even know what gender that one is. Assume nothing. But long hair is long hair.
These hands are rated E for everyone.
Sorry. That was pretty good.
They are our allies.
She
Just in
said
case.
everyone.
I just picture you saying that. There's like a lull in the conversation amongst the group, and you're like,
Whenever they whisper to each other.
this is where we're leaning, right?
Ready for anything.
Of course, it's the gnome who's leaning that way, though.
Tiny but mighty.
Yeah. Do you guys have any further questions?
Is there any like openings around the camp that like because we have like an hour to make it seem we aren't just spies here, so we probably don't want to hang out literally right outside the like captain's tent or whatever. So um, we will. Is there
I didn't really
somewhere?
see
You just totally distracted him.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you guys could see it yet. I was gonna wait for a really good time to populate that.
So yeah, is there like a clearing somewhere that there's like some room for us to breathe and not feel like we are trying to listen in on people?
Yeah, you see, so where there's like the campfire that you were at, you see other very similar fire pits that are currently unoccupied. And you even see a couple that are not surrounded by tents, but they are surrounded by, like a really large log for people to sit on, or like a rock here or there.
Yeah.
You'd be able to kind of pick and choose at your leisure if you didn't want to be around others.
Does it seem like people are? I mean, they're our allies, so I don't feel like spying would necessarily do us any good. But does it look like there's anybody in conversation, like, and not just, I don't know, putting jibes at Corbin?
Yeah, they're conversing. You might get a couple sideways glances, but they're conversing with each other.
I turn to the Baron and I ask, continuing in character, so clearly Azalin believes that he can change the tide of this battle once again. Does he have a tool? Something that he thinks that he can play this better instead of just using different tactics that you know of?
I do not know what Azalin has in mind to win this battle or this war, but I do know what his downfall was. All we have to do is convince Strahd to heed our advice and attack where Azalin is weakest. And he may yet win still.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but does Aslan know his weakness? Is this how he felt the first time? Because that would be most likely thing he would change, would it not?
Yes, and these are my thoughts exactly. We merely have to point Strahd in the right direction to either strengthen his strike against this weakness or to find yet another one.
And have we determined what that weakness is yet?
Have you?
I don't think we've ever met the guy. That's what I'm
I
asking you.
know what it is.
You know what it is?
How well versed are you on the history of Barovia?
Of this realm we didn't know existed until we stumbled through the mists. Not very well versed. I'm very sorry.
Read a
I had
book.
to ask.
I've heard they're great for their beer and sausage. Barovia. No, that's Bavaria.
Yes, I've not heard of Bavaria, but there is an old tunnel system beneath this castle. One that was long sealed up. Strahd found it and led his army through it, slaughtering many in the night.
I mean, that sounds like a perfect thing. It's really hard to shore up that kind of weakness.
So
Unless-
nighttime's the weakness?
The tunnels are the weakness, I assumed.
Sorry.
Okay.
When you said
Yes.
darkness, I assumed it was. I don't know.
Well, yes, darkness is also a weakness because you can't see so well.
I can, because I am a vampire.
So we take his nightlight. Solved.
There is already little light at night.
Those are called stars.
Yes,
We take the stars.
impossible.
But a very motivating, like, band song. Take the stars. I really like it. That's
Well-
going to be our next side quest, you guys. We're going to go pitch it to a bunch of bards.
I'm here for it.
So
Alright.
with the tunnels, while we do definitely want to suggest that these tunnels exist, it's probably best that we ask Strahd and let him know that while we are letting him know about a weakness, it will also cause a weakness of his own. We should probably have him leave some of his army up above the top of the tunnels so they don't collapse it on top of his army.
It is a wise suggestion. The hard part will be making him trust us to give him this advice.
Well, I mean, if we do let him know that there is a tunnel, then we are already halfway there. It's if we can prove the tunnel exists there, then he already knows that if he doesn't trust anything else we say, at least the tactics of what I said would make sense.
How do we convince him that we are not here to spring a trap?
A souvenir. We go to enemy lines, we kill, we fight war, we bring back souvenir, head, ears, throat, nose.
What
Doctor?
can we give him now to win?
A doctor.
Here's throat nose, doctor. Sorry.
We have an hour, Alceo. What do you plan to do for an hour in an hour?
How about we're just really charming? Is anybody here really charming? And we can just go tell them, like, hey, we're on your side. We're here to help you. Yeah.
I mean, Corvin could probably pull it off. I mean,
We can try, but I mean, have I heard of Strahd?
No.
Oh, okay. Then
Has he heard of Corvin?
so
No.
I
Well,
mean,
I guess you wouldn't know.
Sorry. Go ahead, Corvin.
we can definitely just try to talk to him. Unfortunately, I'm just a lowly servant with our story we have whipped up. Starting off with a lie was a bit of a hard sell, but
Corvin, come on. We're diplomats, not doormats. We can stand up. We can use our voices.
well, correct. We can use our voices, but should we use them to lie immediately to someone we are trying to convince that we are on their side?
Isn't that what we always do? But you're right. Maybe we shouldn't when they have all the pointy things.
But we will see. What was his demeanor like in the meeting that he talked to you? I was going to call him Alceo. Baron Mitos.
He was calm, yet imposing. There is a reason he has commanded such respect for so long. And fear.
Well, he did like the one map that you had. Is there anything else? And I just start rifling through the different scrolls we have to see if there's anything else that seems like. Is there like was the map that he was shown the one that contained the tunnel, or was it unrelated to the tunnel that we were talking about?
Baron Metis, he tells you that he actually showed him a map of Darkon to prove where he says that he was from. Darkon is not a land that was
Exists yet. Yeah.
Yeah, so he pulled out an existing map giving details. This is where we're from. This is where we live. This is a map of our surrounding area. And that seemed to convince Strahd that, he is who he says you all are.
All right. And I'll look through to see if there is any maps archiving these tunnel systems at all while we have the time.
Yeah, you begin pulling through. You do find a map of Barovia, and then you do find another map of this area that you're in. Sorry, I'm referring to my own maps. And you find a map of the castle, and in this map of the castle, it's actually a map of ruins. And in the map of the ruins, there's a little area that has been outlined, highlighted, and there's a little description saying, like, these are the tunnels that Count Strahd von Zarovich found and led his army through in the middle of the night. And he was able to secure his victory by slaughtering all except for Azalin.
Something I did not think about as I read this to myself. We have to actually make sure Strahd leaves Azalin alive, because if he is murdered, then once again he doesn't become a Dark Lord and the place collapses. We actually have to do a lot more convincing than I immediately thought.
Okay, so here's my follow-up question. They used these tunnels last time to win, right? I'm sorry, I'm trying to track this. And they left him alive, but then he became dark. So our goal is to do the same exact thing, but then to talk to Azalin and make sure he doesn't go dark.
No,
Or-
you want him to.
What we
If
want him
he
to go dark?
doesn't, Darkon is never created and the entire domain collapses. It's destroyed.
Along with everybody in it.
Along with everybody in it.
So like his
So
villain
you-
story is important to everybody's well-being?
So
Yes.
his goal, though, is to make sure that it doesn't happen.
His goal is to not become
Dark.
a Dark Lord
Okay.
so that he's not trapped within his own domain forever. In so doing, would annihilate everybody that lives in his domain.
Gotcha.
He's trying to win this war with Strahd. So we need to ensure Strahd wins, but he also doesn't die, so the time-space continuum and whatnot doesn't get changed too much, and butterfly effects and what have you. Yeah.
Okay, so bullet points. Strahd win. Azalin alive. He goes dark. We're all okay. Okay, cool.
Well, that's in one mirror.
Yeah.
That's the mirror that you're in right now.
Yeah, that's the one we're focusing on.
Yep.
We don't care about the other mirrors yet.
I just want you to be aware, you, the player, like that's not all.
No, I'm pretty sure that was it.
Pretty sure after this we're done, right?
We win D&D.
We level up. Even better.
Each mirror is a level up.
That makes so much sense.
No.
2 level up per mirror. I got it. Perfect.
There we go. Yeah, love it.
No.
Darn.
Now I'm lightheaded. Thanks, Bradley. Are you continuing to go through the scrolls?
I mean,
Cool.
while we did find something that proves we're from like a future, it I still want to see what else we have since we have the hour.
Yeah, you actually come across a detailed historical account of what happened to Azalin after this war. Uh, and the account details that Strahd left Azalin alive to be a lowly court jester. And to erase all memory of Azalin, he even changed his name to Kazan. After several decades, Kazan was released from service or slavery by Strahd, and he went to the west to build Kazan's tower, which was going to be his attempt at reclaiming what former glory Azalin had. And after Kazan's tower was finished, and it was during this time that he began researching, dark arcana. And when the tower was finished, he went to visit the Amber Temple, which is where he ascended to lichdom. And that's when he vanished from the land of Barovia. You're assuming to wind up in Darkon.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Is there any way? I know we're waiting for an hour for Strahd to do his bit, but what if we were to do a reconnaissance? Because clearly, I think it's pretty safe to say that Allison, Azalin, Allison.
Yep, that's his name.
Aslan, yes, that he is probably cooking up or conjuring a strategy to defeat Strahd. And I'm guessing that with a solid reconnaissance mission, that we could probably find out what that is, what strategy it is.
Do we see like where the tunnels, like an entrance is? Like we have a label from where the tunnels were in the castle. Do we see like where they come out, like that we could see?
There's a small notation on that map telling you that the entrance to the tunnel has been filled in and is hidden about a quarter mile to the east of the castle.
All right.
Well-
And what was your plan, Morgan? To do reconnaissance in the castle or where?
Just before the main frontal attack, before Strahd tries to lead his armies into the tunnel to a potential ambush. I'm guessing, like in typical, maybe because of, I'll blame all the time traveling films and fiction that I've read. That he didn't just come back in time with the attempt of simply just changing decision. He probably has a secret weapon of some sort lined up. He has Arthur helping him as well. What does Arthur know that he can contribute to the situation? That's what I was going to say. Let's do a reconnaissance and see what's cooking.
Okay. After you guys have gone through the scrolls, the maps and everything, you have a guess that you have maybe another 40-45 minutes before you're resummoned into the tent to speak with Strahd. So a reconnaissance mission may not be something that you have time for right now, but definitely something that you might be able to attempt later on.
Sell Strahd on.
Yeah.
before he launches an attack into a tunnel that may or may not be booby trapped.
A secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel, secret tunnel.
So yeah, that's my idea.
Cool. Cool. All right. We will just wait for. Hey, there she is.
Hey.
Time has gone by, and you are all summoned back into the tent.
We're all invited.
You're all invited.
Oh.
Everybody gets to go to the party.
You get to go to the tent. You get to go to the tent.
All right. We'll go to the tent.
Baron Metis leads you all to the tent. Once inside that war table, the large map and military plans that were on it, where all the generals were sitting around, it's completely been emptied. It's cleared off. And there are goblets of wine sitting there, as well as small plates with some more fruits and cheeses on it. And there's a chair for each of you to sit at. Strahd sits at the head of the table, and he beckons all of you, please, my guests, sit and enjoy. And Baron Metis takes the seat at the opposite head of the table.
After my Baron sits, I will follow along.
Same.
One thing that you've noticed is that there are no guards inside the tent, no more servants, and all the generals have left. It's just you and Strahd. Now, tell me, why is it you've come to help me? Baron Metis begins to speak. Good Count Strahd. No, not you! The others. I've heard from you enough, Baron. I would like to hear the details from one of your ilk.
I elbow Corvin and Morgan.
So
Well-
Lon, you elbow.
I know, I meant yeah. I'll see you.
Well, we came here due to a bit of conundrum that will happen and has happened and will be continuing to happen. I believe you saw a map earlier today, correct?
I did.
So that place you saw, the reason why you were not familiar with it, it was not from now. It was from later. This man you seek to defeat, we need him to be defeated due to what he accomplishes in the future.
You'll
And-
have to be much more clear with me.
Yeah, I say, do you mind? And I go to not my sword. I go to grab one of the scrolls from the pack and put the ruins on the table. It's the ruins of the castle they're currently about to siege, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you do succeed in the future, and I unfurl the map and kind of just shove it not all the way towards Strahd, but like just kind of into the center of the table, so he can pull it towards him if you'd like, so he doesn't think it's I'm making any threatening moves or anything like that. And you do succeed. However, the thing is, we aren't from here, and I just gesture around. What do our garb look like? Do we look like we are just from like we're from here, or do we look like we stick out a bit because of our clothing?
No, I mean, regionally, your garb does differ, like you're from a different country. As far as like time would go, your clothing does resemble something that would be found or made within these times.
Okay. So you see, we came from a future. I'm not sure what this is. I don't know. Honestly, I do not mean to offend you, but I don't know if you are even real. Uh, and I say, but assuming you are, you do accomplish this. And I kind of point at the map that says like Strahd did this thing, kind of thing, like and took this tunnel.
He reaches out for the map as you're speaking, and with his very long nails, he kind of pins it against the table and drags it toward him, peering down at it. And then after looking over it, he kind of eyes you, especially when you say you're not even sure if he's real. His eyes come up and meet yours, and a smile crosses his lips. This is either very elaborate or exceedingly foolish. So you would propose that I send my army through these tunnels to win the night just as I have previously.
I would not suggest your entire army go through those tunnels. The issue is the reason we are here is he knows that you used those tunnels the first time. So he surely knows something about that you are going to use those tunnels in some way. The question is, how do you want to adjust that fact that he knows that you know about these tunnels? So what I would suggest, but you are free to just ignore it and do whatever tactic you like, would be to make sure that he does not try to collapse it or explode the tunnels. So I would have someone check for gases, and would have someone or a portion of your army above the tunnels so it does not get collapsed. However, do not make it as obvious as you have a straight line of people. Make it look like you are doing a bit of a siege to make it so you aren't just following the tunnel and he knows what you're up to.
Are you well experienced in the art of siege warfare?
I can't say I've ever been a part of one.
Now let's say I believe you. Let's say I'm actually considering weighing your words when coming up with my plan. First, the matter of time. You've told me that Azalin has come back from a distant future. No such magic exists.
Well, that is why I said I don't know if you are real.
Would you like to find out if I'm real?
Not particularly. I assume I could still die in this reality. But that does not necessarily mean I'm talking to the original Strahd that besieged his castle. This could be a recreation, you see, is what I mean.
An illusion.
Illusions can hurt. Corvin kind of leans back from the table a bit.
And you, he looks at Morgan. What do you say about all this?
Yeah.
He begins walking. He stands up and he begins walking around the table to where you sit. Oh, come now. You've come along on this little excursion for some reason, have you not? And he arrives at the back of your chair. He puts his hands on the back of your chair, just above your shoulders. And you can kind of feel him leaning down, breathing down your neck.
Mm.
What would happen if I didn't heed any of your words? Tell me, do you really believe in all this? Is this the truth that your companion speaks?
I trust my companions, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't think it was
And yet
plausible.
the question remains, do I trust you? And he slips a knife beneath your neck.
Mm.
Given that she's the smallest and objectively the most adorable of your group, I'm wagering that it would be a great shame to lose this one.
Okay, I just came back and I heard somebody's putting something up to Morgan Lonnie's throat.
Yep,
Who is it? Is it Strahd?
it's Strahd. Tell me truthfully, or I'll spill her right here, right now.
Tell him truthfully what?
Speak.
I just had a dog urinate on me. I got distracted. That's why I disappeared so fast. So don't yell at me right now. What are we supposed to tell the truth?
I mean, he's yelling at everybody.
Yeah, but what are we telling the
Yeah,
truth
he's
on?
demanding the truth. He wants to know why he should trust you.
Anyone step in? Let me...
It was a step in. You're so
Truth
funny.
serum. Let's go.
I mean, it is in. You know what? I'm gonna drop the whole accent bit while talking to him. I'm gonna drop that. I believe it's in your best interest to work with us on here. He is trying to alter history. If he manages to alter history, the whole realm of Darkon will never exist, and all the innocent people who live within it will die. We don't want them to die. It works for both of us if you win and we win. I'm willing to personally go and reconnaissance that tunnel to ensure that there's no traps or anything being laid for you.
The dagger that he had at Morgan's throat, he removes it and he throws it, and it buries into the table right in front of you.
I take my blade and I throw it right above his blade. I'm like, okay.
Do you really?
Probably not. That's probably a bad idea.
I need to know.
My intrusive thoughts do.
Oh, sure. I do it because I just cause all sorts of problems for a group. I do it. And then I'm like, I don't
If you're
know.
not careful, this Morgan's gonna pee on your leg.
I throw it at the table above his, and I'm just like, we're here as friends. If you're rolling initiative, I'm just going to commit and leave and do a new character sheet.
Hold on.
I'm going to go be right back.
Did a
He's
dog have
gonna
issues
be
with you
right
too?
back.
Oh, good. This is where I die. He's rolling damage dice. I uncanny dodge.
I'm not rolling damage dice. I want to know.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I wanna know what love is. So why'd your dog do that?
I don't know. He's never done that. But sorry. It was not a fan. Not a fan.
Has he been asking to go out?
I don't think so. He was pacing in here like he was trying to jump on the bed, which is harder for him because, 3 legs. But he does it usually pretty okay. And then he just walked up to me and he's like, nah. And I was like, oh, okay. Let's go outside.
He's like, I'm frustrated, so I'm gonna do this.
You know what I
Sorry
really
about that.
It's all good. We missed you. What do you
Get over
really
there?
hate?
when you're looking for a stat block.
I don't think it matters. He just forgives me, and we became besties, and we solved the war.
And we all leveled it.
Unfortunately, that's not really how it works.
Man, you know how they always make those memes or whatever, where they're like, "Does the DM when the DM asks, do you really do that?" and you get smart and you say no. Here we are. If you guys want to stop playing with me, just put it in the private message.
Absolutely never.
But I would be mad, right? More or less kind of adopted Lonnie as like her sister, her person a little bit.
I mean, you're the whole selling point of why I'm here.
It's in character. I just don't like
Found it.
consequences.
Oh,
All
man, that's
right.
a big stat block.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Legendary resistors, nice fun stuff.
Let's see. I uncanny dodge and then sneak attack, and I use my thieves' cant to have everybody attack him, and then I win.
But we don't speak thieves' cant, so we're just like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about the weather for?
Surprise my thieves that are around here that you didn't see.
I wonder what thieves' cant actually like sounds like. Like, if somebody were like to speak it to, does it sound like somebody's like rapping? Or
I think
like,
it sounds like seagulls going, mine, 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 mine.
I think it's just coded language. Like you're talking like as if you're having a normal conversation, but then
Oh.
you're like you have like just different keywords that mean certain things.
I think Bay. He's on Bay to something Bay. Just kidding. I've never learned Pig Latin or whatever it was.
He threw the knife and it struck into the table just in front of Alcio.
Okay.
You react and you throw your knife,
On top of his knife on the table in front of Alcio.
and it sticks into the table right next to the knife that he threw.
But then it would
And
disappear because it's
in a puff of smoke, he disappears from behind Lonnie. And a split second later, he appears right behind you, his nail digging into the front of your throat as he holds your neck from behind. And he very angrily like yells into your ear. Try that again anytime soon, little girl, and I'll remove your ability to breathe.
Guys, he said I'm little. I tell you what, losing that soul really did slim me down.
Yeah, as you begin to speak, he digs his nails in deeper, drawing blood.
Oh, I thought we didn't like that. Do I smell like copper now?
You
So-
take 1 damage.
Okay.
Are they gonna catch these hands anytime soon?
No, guys, we're not here to fight him. We're here
I mean,
to...
he's making it very tempting.
No, we're supposed to be allies, but we don't threaten my family.
I'm sure she just got emotional when she saw her friend in danger. I apologize for my friend's outburst.
You
Don't apologize
walked
for me.
into danger willingly, the 5 of you.
I look at him every day. Does that make me seem cool? I do
Well,
that for
he's
cool.
behind you, so you
Yeah.
can't look at him.
I go like this every day.
Okay, he digs his nails in even deeper to hold you in place. You take 4 damage.
Stop moving.
It was worth it. Did it work?
She moves again, or if any of you utter anything other than the answers for which I ask, I will remove her head from her shoulders. Am I understood?
Internally, I think like, oh man, I'm picking on the girls. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Let's see how it is. Big strong vampires over here, she says internally.
He looks back to Alcio. Your voice has changed. Which one is the lie?
Sorry, real fast. Griff's comment about throwing hands from, Men in Tights. It was really good. Okay.
right? This is the real voice, the one that I'm speaking with now. Originally, when we came in here, I did not know that we were planning to tell you all about the future and whatnot. And now that we are, I feel like we're being all on the level with you.
Roll persuasion.
Better not mess it up.
I cast guidance.
Right?
Just kidding. I don't have guidance.
It also requires a verbal component, which requires you to die.
17.
Guidance.
17?
Yep.
And how is it that you know Azalin in this future?
We know
Answer, you are killing her, and he squeezes a little tighter.
We know Azalin because of what he becomes. He becomes the Dark Lord of the realm Darkron.
Yes, I've heard this before, but how do you know him?
Because we know that he is attempting to change the past. We do not know him directly. We never met him personally.
He just kidnapped somebody we're looking for.
So he has another one of your companions. And what allegiance is it of you that you owe to this land of Darkon?
There's a really depressing old lady who would like to help.
No allegiance personally. The only thing that we want is we want our friend back. And we want to ensure that as many people as possible are not killed needlessly.
The savior mentality. He removes his nails from Lonnie's neck, and he begins to walk back to his seat, and he's licking the blood from his fingernails as he goes, and he winces. Changeling filth.
Rude. If this was a romance book, we would be bonded and in love now.
Is this something that you say to him?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Do it.
Oh.
I find you the slightest bit amusing.
Man. If I had a shilling or whatever, that's a gold coin or whatever it is that we do here.
Enough. I will send scouts to the tunnels. They will be there to follow you. You will go in, and you will report back to me what you see. Should the tunnels collapse, none of my men suffer. Should you be lying and there are no tunnels, my men will make you suffer. Should you not return, you will be among the dead when I finally take that castle for my own.
But first he'll send out his 4 fastest ships. Sorry. Yeah, right? Sorry. I was saying you sound like Count Rugen from Princess Bride. The 600 man. Okay, that's it. It's very exciting to me.
The reference.
You know Princess Bride, then with Wesley and Buttercup.
All right, I'm going to turn Laura off.
There's Andre the Giant. And they go on an adventure. I'm not a witch. I'm your wife. Oh, I thought you were turning me off. Okay, now this just seemed obnoxious. Okay, sorry.
Now I just let you embarrass yourself.
Oh man, second time in 5 minutes.
For all our 2 viewers.
Very. They seem like the kinds to like Princess Bride. I'm sure it's
right. Classy individuals.
classies. Okay.
If and when you return, you will be under my employ for the duration of this siege, and then I wish never to see you again. While you are under my employ, you will conduct yourselves in a manner befitting my presence. And he glares at Lonnie. No more snark.
Oh, that's me.
No more throwing knives. And if it happens again, my previous threat remains in place. I will remove your head from your shoulders. I will drink of the blood as it drips from your throat. And the last thing you see will be my blood-stained, smiling face.
But I thought he didn't like didn't like it. Do you prefer that I continue the appearance of a vampire? Or since you know I'm a changeling, should I just be a changeling?
Take whatever appearance you wish.
I'm not going to turn into him because I feel like this is the bad time to do that.
Yeah, it's probably a really good call.
Okay.
Excellent. I look forward to your report when you return. And Baron Metis, stop calling yourself a baron. You lack all the propriety needed. And he turns around before any of you can respond, and he goes back through that flap into his own quarters. And he just kind of leaves you there with your goblets of wine, your little snacks,
I'm just
and
gonna.
2 knives and a table.
Well, only one because the psychic blade would have disappeared.
Oh, okay. 1 knife and a table.
I'm going to go up to Baron and take his arm and I'm just going to pat it nicely and I'll be like, he's not my type.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well,
So,
we've got a report to do.
do you know if we were supposed to wait for him to dismiss us? I just kind of whisper to Mitos. Alcio. I don't know. I don't know.
It is true that I do lack the propriety needed to pull off being a baron.
That's why we like you so much.
I would assume we have already been dismissed.
Yeah, let's get out of here as quick as possible.
Baron Metis, or Alcio, he takes one big swig from the goblet, and then he wipes his mouth, and he leaves.
All right, I'll follow him out of the tent.
As we make our way away, I want to ask him, so what type of force are we going up against? What type of army does Azalin have? He's not a...
This I do not know.
He's not a lich yet, so he doesn't have
He
undead.
is not a lich. He will not even become one for another couple 100 years. This battle that you are witnessing, this was eons ago. And the history of it was very difficult for Balthazar to uncover. Most things from this time are lost to history.
All right, then. Go kill a mystery enemy, then. Sounds fun.
And then we're going to do a report on it. Double spaced, size 12 font.
I do not know what any of that means.
That's okay. All right. I feel like we're less excited about this, but we should use this as a chance to just get away from here. It's bad
I'm
vibes.
excited. I'm ready to kill things.
Okie dokie. So I was a little distracted by his unhygienic nails on my throat. Just kind of gross. So did we figure out which direction we should go?
We need his scouts before we can leave, unfortunately. I believe.
I'm so bored.
We've been out of the tent for like a minute.
Where are they?
As if waiting for their cue, you have 7 scouts that appear through the surrounding tents and campfires.
Ah, thank goodness.
You them.
What?
You them. What's going in the tunnels?
We them.
Oh, yes, we are them.
Great.
You them? The scouts them?
You're them. Oh, them. Yeah, we're them.
Okay.
We us.
We them
Well-
go with you then.
We're burning daylight after you. Let's go. We don't know where it is.
Yeah. I try to follow the mark, the quarter mile away from the castle, wherever that was marked on the map.
Yeah, roll a nature check.
I'm great at those. 2.
Head east. You head east through the woods, through the bramble, all the while looking for writing on the ground that says tunnel with an arrow and a big circle. Before you realize that's not actually part of the map, or that part of the map isn't actually part of the terrain. You're not going to find letters like that.
Guys, I'm struggling to read this map. Does someone else want to try to navigate?
Somebody who might know a thing or two about nature.
I
Do it.
Give me the map.
hand it to Morgan Lonnie.
Morgan.
I love how we're still using the name.
Yeah.
Well, we never filled him in on that.
Yeah, once
It's
we're
our
all
own-
low,
Sorry.
We can,
So
like-
I look at the map.
You look at the map. Roll for me a nature check
Ay, ay, ay.
or a perception. Give me either one.
I'll do a nature. 4.
Did you add your ability to that?
I did.
oh.
You see some of the scouts have slowly removed arrows from quivers and are beginning to knock them in their bows.
I take a look at the map.
It's really
Nature
early
or
for us.
perception, sir?
History.
History, okay.
I don't
I'm
know.
going to read upon how we die. What am I doing the history of? The tunnel?
Yeah.
Oh, well-
There's a map of the ruins.
Okay. I'm going to roll this dice. All right. That's going to be a 12.
Yeah. You're looking around, and so it's like a map of the ruins, and you're looking around at what is very clearly not ruins, and you're pretty sure you're in the right area.
I gesture to them. I was like, "But, hold on. We're not from here. Give us a moment. We'll find it.
Chauncey, get the map. And one of the scouts puts an arrow away, and he comes up. He's holding out his hand for the map.
I hand it eagerly.
This map ain't a castle.
It was a castle at one point.
You're bad at drawing castles.
You should see his unicorns.
No thanks.
I don't like the vampire attitudes.
Oh man.
The entrance
I mean-
should be right over there.
Did you roll for nature or for history?
I rolled for you guys not getting riddled with arrows. The entrance should be right over there. The leader of the scouts, he motions to Lonnie. You. Go check.
Me? Okay. What am I checking for?
The entrance.
Cool. As the person who never saw the map, I will definitely go where I think you think the entrance is.
The guy who has the map is walking with you.
Okay. So what's your name?
Chauncey.
Very nice, Chauncey.
Chauncey.
Do you hate sunsets too?
Are you looking for the entrance, or are we supposed
Are
to
we there
kill-
yet? I thought we were walking towards it.
Yeah, you're there. It's
Okay,
not
I
that
look.
far.
I look for the entrance.
Cool. Roll me a nature or a perception. Or an investigation. I'll let you pick one of the three.
Oh no! Give me 1 second, you guys. 1 quick second.
And
This is how
The
the party
second
dies. Oh.
Whoa! How'd you do that?
Who is that? How'd they get in my home?
teleportation.
She's really good.
Sorry about that. That was so weird. Okay. I had my old character sheet, not the one that had my like proficiencies. Okay. You said investigation, perception, or nature?
Yeah.
Coolest of beans. Let's see, investigation +5 +2. We're gonna go with investigation, pals. I investigate for an entrance. And that's a dirty 20.
Cool. Yeah. You, as you're looking around for an entrance, you're having some trouble finding it until you step just a little too close to a large tree, and you fall down into the earth as it gives way beneath your feet.
So this kind of reminds me of a song. Falling down. I'm yelling timber. And it's ironic because it's a tree. No? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Krista.
Thank you. All right. So I fall into the entrance.
Yeah, you fall into a deep pit.
As I'm falling, I found it.
I'm just
Chauncey,
gonna follow
is that
her.
it?
Just like a lemming. You just fall.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, Chauncey. I couldn't hear you. I'm in a pit.
Well, the rest of you then. Let's go.
I'll follow her.
Yep. And I kind of just like climb down the side as my Dampier abilities let me do.
Show off.
Watch your step. LOL. LOL.
You hear, as you're all like going into the pit, you hear one of the scouts. Not so fast, Baron. You're staying with us.
No. We need him.
If you care about his well-being, you'll come back with something useful.
You guys suck.
Is it just because he's handsome?
Is that your girlfriend?
There's no
No.
response. It's gotta be because
not
he's
my
handsome.
girlfriend.
All right. Chauncey's
Oh.
not my type either, Baron. I'm leaning into it. Let's go.
One scout appears at the edge of the pit. You have 4 hours. If you're not back in 4 hours, he dies.
Quick, how many minutes is 4 hours? Can you do the math?
Yeah, it's 240.
Ew,
job.
nerd.
Burn! And then we start walking.
If you return without something useful, he dies.
Oy.
Okay.
Sorry.
Alonzi! And towards the tunnel.
And you head toward the tunnel. And that's where we'll end it tonight.
Of course.
In the secret tunnel, secret tunnel.
No, I'm sorry.
Through
Is it
the
because I had to stop
mountains.
for the house gnome again? Apologies.
Duh.
No, this is just a really good stopping point.
Is it a really good stopping point?
It's a isn't that not what I just said? It's a
I'm just
really good
confirming that you think.
Look, I know that you're my sister, and this is the kind of sibling-ish back and forth that we do, but my gosh, I just kind of want to smack you sometimes.
You can't.
I know, you're too far away. I'll just have to wait until Christmas when we see you again. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. And next time, you guys will find out what's up with the secret tunnel, and it'll be so exciting. Thank you to everybody for being here, like Griff, and like I Love
Sam?
Mommy, and
the bot.
the spam bot who's trying to sell views. We might see you guys in 2 days when we do this again, or we won't because work interferes with D&D. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time on another exciting episode of Jokes When Trying to Be Serious.
I never joke.